Om Shanti. So welcome all of you to the practice workshop today. I'm confident in life actions. Have I really developed enough self-confidence? Usually you get beautiful answers. Sometimes we feel, oh, I am not confident or confident enough to make a decision. Why is that so? So from today's workshop, we'll try to gain a few insights, few tips on how to develop self-confidence. And later, after the experiential exercises, we'll have a very experienced, very senior Sister Gopi sharing her insights as well on the topic. So with this, I'll just move on to the next slide. As you can see, we have been covering this since December 2020. Finished last time on simplicity. We have Sister Manda with us. So I'll just share the screen and so welcome all of you, and I would like also to just welcome all the translators, our very dear tireless translators who are there in the background. We have almost 5 languages today as well. And also Sister Anu from Canada and myself, both of us are there to facilitate the workshop today. So with this, I would request Sister Anu to do the first activity. Over to you for the icebreaker. Thanks.
Thank you, Manoj brother. Om Shanti, everyone. I think the music was overpowering your voice. So maybe in the next one, we have to make the music even lower. We could hear broken music breaks the voice, but it was okay. Partly we could all hear. So welcome for confidence today. And we'll start as usual with our icebreaker. So the icebreaker would be again a video, and let's watch it, and then you catch what is the insight you gain while watching it, and then you can share on the chat box. So can you see the video?
Not yet. Not yet. Maybe you have to share again or something.
Now you
And
can
now started, yeah. Full screen.
That you'll die without him. You know that's a lie that you tell yourself. You fear that you lay alone forever now. It ain't true, ain't true, ain't true, no. So put your arms around me tonight. Let the music lift you up like you've never been so high. Open up your heart to me. Let the music lift you up like you've never been this free. Till you feel the sunrise. Let the music warm your body like the heat of 1,000 fires. The heat of 1,000 fires. Ain't no crying in the club. Hey, hey, let the beat carry away your tears as they fall, baby. Ain't no crying in the club. Hey, hey, a little faith. Your tears turn to ecstasy. Ain't no crying in the club. Ain't no crying in the club. Ain't no crying in the club. You may think that you'll die without her, but you know That's a lie that you told yourself. You fear that you'll never meet another so pure. But it ain't true, ain't true, ain't true, no. So put your arms around me tonight. Let the music lift you up like you've never been so high. Open up your heart to me. Let the music lift you up like you've never been this free. Till you feel the sunrise. Let the music warm your body like the heat of 1,000 fires. The heat of 1,000 fires. Ain't no crying in the club. Hey, hey, let the beat carry away your tears as they fall, baby. Ain't no crying in the club. Hey, hey, a little faith. Your tears turn to ecstasy. Ain't no crying in the club. Ain't no crying in the club. Ain't no crying in the club. You think that you'll die without him. You know that's a lie that you tell yourself. You fear that you lay alone forever now. It ain't true, ain't true, ain't true, no. I said ain't no crying in the club, no crying. I said ain't no crying in the club, ain't no crying in the club. Your tears as they fall, baby, ain't no crying in the club. Your tears turn to ecstasy, ain't no crying in the club. Ain't no crying in the club.
That was the beautiful video. What is the feelings that you all got out of it? You can put on the chat box. No insight? We all watched the video, right? Anyone? You can put it on the chat box. Okay. We can all now see the chat box. Nothing yet. So that was the confidence, ultimate confidence. Yes. Bilal sister says power of resilience, that is confidence. Carmen says sacrifice brings new life and new hope. Vidhi says never give up, keep spirits high. Marina sister says faith, courage, strength. Manoj brother says determination to succeed. These are the insights we got from the video that really uplifted my spirit, that how we can be confident and keep on moving in life. Amanda says logro, I'm not sure. Is it transformation? And in what language, I'm not sure. Anyone else? What is that you felt watching the video? Yeah, somebody says feelings of confidence and have hope in life. And keep going with faith and concentration, says Harpreet sister. Somebody says in Hindi, हिम्मत कभी नहीं हारनी चाहिए और खुद को मिटाना पड़े तो मिटा दो लेकिन दूसरों की जिंदगी बना दो. So never lose your confidence. May you sacrifice yourself, but give life to others. Amarjit says trying to find better circumstances. Yeah, so taking seed of idea that has fertile soil and water. So yeah, beautiful sharings, and I'm sure we all woke up now to confidence. So let's move to the next. Somebody also says never lose hope. So I will hand it over to Manoj brother for the next exercise.
Okay, so thank you all of you all for your sharings. Bear with me, I may be a bit slow because it's a new system and a Mac one, so a bit difficult to switch from Windows to Mac. Okay, so I think the screen is visible now. Yeah. So all of you have spoken in this video about actually a few qualities related to confidence and particularly self-confidence. In Hindi, we say Atma Vishwas. So confidence is Vishwas, what we call in Hindi. Why I'm saying that? Because Sister Denise covered a few Hindi words as well in the talk. So the first activity is all about a continuation from the icebreaker video, that what are the attributes of self-confidence? So let's look at it. Reflect on a time in your life when your self-confidence created miracles and really made you successful. So reflect on such a time. I'm sure it's not a very difficult time to remember. It could be childhood or even adulthood or the present moment as well. Something you have done just created miracles because of your self-confidence. So take a few minutes. I would not be playing any music because I think there are a few compatibility issues. My voice goes very low when the music goes on. It's a very low volume, but so we'll just sit in silence and reflect on that. So I'm sure you have got a time. I mean, you have reflected on the question. So I think I haven't written it. So what are the attributes or qualities which made you successful? And those are the attributes or qualities needed for developing self-confidence. So I would want you all to jot down a few qualities or attributes. So I can see people have started sharing in the chat box. It's a beautiful time for you all to, you can seize the opportunity and share it orally if you can. I'll just stop sharing the screen now. Yes. I think we have almost close to 100 participants. None of you is inspired or encouraged to speak? Or you're shying from the big crowd? So, okay, someone has said, chat box is disappearing sometime.
Now people can unmute, so you're welcome to share.
I can share.
Is it Arun Bhai speaking?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
please.
hear. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay. The attributes, if we really want to talk about, when I reflect on my own past, the fearlessness was the important element, and ready to die. Even I'm ready to die at that moment. That is the feeling I used to get when I feel, and I'm not interested in the ultimate result, whether I succeed or I fail has no value there, because I just reach the ultimate situation. This is what I feel. And then it is the real happiness and the real glory of the life which we see. This is what is the feeling which I get at that point of time. Yeah.
Okay, great. So fearlessness. So if people want to, I actually, it just reminds me as I'm speaking now, that you can also share in 1 or 2 words or sentence what that act was, whereby you created miracle, what that miraculous act was. So I think Fusen wants to share. Okay, Sister Fusen. Okay, in the meantime, Brijpal Bhai, you have unmuted. Yes, please go ahead.
One thing is that you should have a belief in yourself, and then you should be a determined soul, and you should gain knowledge. Then you can do miracles. As far as my case is, what I could recollect, that from class 5th to class 10th, we used to give speeches on 15th August. And I was so powerful and determined as a child, I always stood first wherever I have given speeches, from class 5th to class 10th in my school. And in my university, in the Roorkee of university, I was the secretary of the Thomsonian Society, a forum for society for this debating and all that. For 2 consecutive years, one for the English section and the other in the Hindi section. So if you are determined and self-belief, you can succeed.
Okay, thank you. Good. So it was about public speaking, fearless public speaking. You need courage and determination. Quite a few responses from the chat also resonate with the same thing. That faith in yourself, determination and courage. We saw that small plant. I think, I don't know whether that plant really survived, but till the time it died, it was really highly confident and determined to cross that very heated pavement. Self-respect and self-esteem. I'm not reading out names. I hope that's okay. Understanding and love of the essence. Okay. Any other sharings you all want to share? Sister Vidhi, you want to? Can I request? Yeah, can I request people to? It's a workshop, so it's a bit easy. I'm coming to you, Vidhi sister. Sorry. So it's helpful if you can open your cameras. It will be very nice to see you all. Okay, over to you, Vidhi sister.
Yes. I think self-love, I have experienced this, is when I had that value for myself. And then the decision making was very easy. I have to grow. I have to take a stand and make my, kind of name. So that helped me to get a very good job, and I succeeded very well at my work. I worked only once. I have worked in only one company, but that helped me a lot. That confidence I gained when I started loving myself, and I took good decisions.
Okay, good. So we got this beautiful point that love for self is needed to develop self-confidence. An amazing eye-opener. So Ashwini, thank you, Vidhi sister. Ashwini Bhai says in the chat, at the Corona times, where everyone was retreating, there was a belief that gave me strength that the Supreme Father is God who is with me and will protect me at every step. Through this, I got confidence, right? So retreating, I feel he's trying to say that when people were getting reinfected and they were being given treatment again, despite being vaccinated. So he had the confidence in God at every step. Yes. Good. I think I could see someone raising hands. I missed it probably. Okay, anyone wants to unmute and speak? Neeraj Bhai, you have unmuted. You want to share something?
Yeah, Manoj Bhai, Om Shanti. So when I take my physical yoga classes, so when I speak in a smiling mode, so I get a very good cooperation from the public. So I would say when I share my happiness with the people, they cooperate a lot. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you're speaking about the physical looks and smiles. Okay. Brother Arun is again sharing in the chat box that Nishchay Buddhi Vijayanti, beautiful one, a Hindi word, but I'm sure all of you know. So if your intellect is full of faith, faithful intellect goes very close in hand with being confident, then you are definitely bound to win victory, success, whatever. Okay, so a faithful intellect is needed, another attribute for miracles or success. We have 5 more minutes. So if you all want to share in the chat box also should be fine. You can
PK
feel-
Rehna has
Go ahead. Yeah.
muted if she wants to say something.
Rehna
PK
sister,
Rehna.
yeah.
Yeah, faith is definitely needed, but then you sometimes you have to deal with people who try to tell you that you can't do these things. You have to develop that filtering system to filter out all those negativities and move ahead. Yeah.
You said filtering out the negativities, right? Filtering, yeah, okay. Fine. So, yeah, I think it's important that I may only be the person who has confidence in myself, but all the others may not have. So I need to really filter out what other people are trying to say. I think it reminds me of a story whereby towards the Mount Everest, a person had climbed. I think many people would be knowing this. And he was, I think, crippled. He was challenged physically. And then they were surprised at the top point when they gave him the prize. They asked him, how could you do this? So he was not able to hear. And they were telling him that, they were telling him despite other people, not, this is all those filters thing which Rena's sister has said. They were telling him that, how could you do it? You are crippled and physically challenged. So he said, I was not able to hear because he was probably deaf as well. So see, though the people were discouraging him, but he himself had a lot of faith in himself, which was needed for success. Yeah, you want to go ahead, Angela, sister, Angela Susanna. Is it English or some other language? Okay, fine. Anyone else? Right, I'll just see a few chat box sharings. Yeah, Kalyani is saying often faith is interpreted as trust in the unknown, intangible thing when facts and reality says otherwise. How do you explain faith to them? Okay, it's a beautiful question, which I'm not going to answer. I think Gopi's sister can answer that. We'll ask her. But I think I remember asking the difference to Sister Denise of these three things: the faith, trust, and confidence. So if I can understand the question rightly, is I have a lot of trust in the intangible, in the subtle things, but people don't have. So how do you explain faith to them? I think that's the question. So yeah, so Kalyani, I didn't know, I thought it's a comment and answer. I didn't know it is a question. So it's okay, we'll take it from Book Sister Gopi, if that's all right. So thank you for your sharings. If we can just quickly see. And Sister Anu is saying in Hindi, kabhi haar nahi manna, kabhi, sorry, kadi mehnat karna and hamesha seekhte rehna. So I'll translate it in English. You don't have to lose hope in yourself. Don't lose yourself. Keep doing a lot of hard work and also have the attitude of learning all the time. Be a learner forever, from one of the participants. Right. Good. So we are having multilingual sharings. Thank you all of you. Deepak Bhai, can please share the last slide and then we'll move on to the next activity. Is it ready, Deepak Bhai, or I'm sure I'm audible. Niva has to just check her sound, right? I'm audible, right?
Yes, 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 brother.
Thanks. Yeah, I was wondering suddenly, is it that I'm not being able to be heard? Okay, so you can see all these. I'm not reading in details for y'all, but you all need all these qualities. I think the most important ones which I can pick up is faith, confidence in the self. Sorry, confidence is already there. So strong willpower and fearlessness, determination. We said we got it from the insight from the video as well. And having self-respect, self-esteem, and also self-love, which I remember from Vidhi sisters sharing. Belief in the self, that yes, I can do it. And filtering out, as Rena's sister was saying, try to ignore the filters which people are trying to tell you, filtering out the negativity, and an attitude of learning all the time. Because it says that you cease to exist the day when you stop learning, or when the day you know that you know everything in life. And also, I would want to remind you all that the people who have joined new, there are quite a few participants today. I feel it's almost 116 now. So please feel free to share your email addresses and WhatsApp numbers so that we can keep in touch with you through those. You can either put it to everyone, or if you feel not comfortable to do it to everyone, please send it to Sister Vidhi. You can see Vidhi in the V alphabet. So with this, I'll just stop. Yeah. So Deepak bhai, I'll just stop your sharing. And what I will do is in the next 3 or 4 minutes, we'll do a small visualization to help you to get ready for the next activity on action planning, which Anu's sister will take for you. And I think today let's try in silence because the volume doesn't match. So I'll just be in silence here so you all can listen to what I'm saying properly. So let's sit back, take a deep breath in and out, and relax your body. And visualize yourself as this beautiful, conscient, light energy that you are. And having done that, look at your life journey so far. Look at your achievements right from a very young age, going to school, high school, college, graduating from university. So look at what you have achieved so far. The list is a big one, quite a few achievements. And what comes next in the mind the moment I visualize my achievements? There will be a lot of different values coming in the conscious layer of mind. But let's look at a few of them. It's courage and fearlessness to do despite adverse situations. Belief in self, full faith in self, faith in the divine being, God, supreme. The motivation to do something in life. So looking at these few virtues or attributes of self-confidence. Now let me look at my present life. Am I really passing through a low phase? A phase where I feel, oh, I really probably can't do this. So let me just remind myself of those beautiful values which I already have within myself. See, your thought process starts changing. You start developing the willpower. You regain your self-confidence. Just one thought away. Remind yourself of your past achievements. And there you are, off to another successful miracle which you can create for yourself. Right. So thank you all of you again for your sharings. And with this, over to Anu's sister for the next activity. Thanks.
Thank you, Manoj brother. Now that was beautiful. As we have been sharing until now, we know we relate to confidence. There are so many times in our life we might have felt discouraged, and that, as Brother Manoj took us through the visualization meditation, that reflected that we might have felt discouraged, but then we always brought our confidence to the forefront and achieved. But I think when we are in any difficult situation, do we remember it? Do we remember all these qualities that we could recognize connected with the value confidence that we have and we have achieved in life, and bring it out? So this last exercise is, as we say, the action planning exercise, boosting self-confidence. Actually, what is there within us, the power of confidence, of ability that we can do, is hidden or not seen. We only see the physical appearance or the achievements outside. Maybe we have to be more mindful of the qualities, the values, the powers we hold within. So in this exercise, let's go for this reflection question. Write it down on your notebook and then bring it out to share with us so that we learn from each other. So the reflection question is, reflect on a few methods which you can adopt to boost your self-confidence at home and workplace. So check again how you conduct yourself, and can you do something more differently, what new thing you can adopt that can boost your self-confidence in everything you do. So take about a minute, reflect deeply and write it. Few methods for this. I hope that is not difficult. You have figured out a few points for the self that you can bring to your conscious mind in your actions to boost your self-confidence. So now if we can request you to unmute and share, because sharing also is a part you do that we learn from each other. Something that didn't come to my mind, I may hear from you and I take it as my self-confidence point. So who is ready to share? Yes,
Hello.
Om Shanti Didi ji.
hold on, Mahesh brother first, then Vijay bhai. Thank you.
Yeah, Om Shanti, sister. So to boost our confidence, we have to be determined first. And then we have to be patient. And one thing I realized is we have to do one thing at a time.
Mhm.
And
Right.
whenever, and we have to adapt changes. And we have to upscale ourselves time to time.
Very nicely defined, right? So break down your work and do one thing at a time. And what else you said, brother?
Yeah, I will repeat all the
Quickly.
points again. Yeah, be determined, adopt changes, be patient, do one thing at a time, upskill yourselves time to time.
Right. Thank you so much, Maheshwari.
Thank you.
So like this, if others can share their points, just the points, so that we can hear from many more. So yes, Vijay brother, maybe quickly we can hear from you.
Om Shanti, all my dear brothers and sisters, please accept my greetings of love, peace, and happiness. During our journey, after getting knowledge of Shrimat or Baba's knowledge, godly knowledge, Ishwariya knowledge, we have developed the confidence because we have a love of God. His shelter, a canopy of His hand has given and boosted our confidence in life.
Right.
हिंदी
So
में हम कहते हैं
it's
परमात्म
okay,
लव
Vijay
में
bhai.
लीन और मिलन में मगन रहने वाले व्यर्थ से दूर
I think yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. You always
ओम
bring,
शांति दीदी.
yeah. So we'll go to other people. So that's good when we have that connection with the divine or godly love and power. That was a different level of confidence. Thank you, Vijay brother. Yes, Angela, you want to share? Angela, can you hear us? Yes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, yes.
Para incrementar la confianza, yo creo que es importante que podamos entender las situaciones de desafío que estamos viviendo e incrementar la unión y el recuerdo con Dios y recordar situaciones anteriores donde hemos tenido desafíos similares para poder, digamos, empoderar nuestra alma, para comenzar ya a tener la determinación de actuar. Shanti.
Thank you, sister. So very nice to hear, at least in different language, the confidence. But I think I'll request the interpreter to please put it on the chat box when ready. We'll move to Carmen. You want to share?
Yes, Shanti. First of all, you have to love and accept yourself. And secondly, we have to be double light. I am a soul and nothing is mine. And everything belongs to Baba. Shanti.
That's beautiful sharing. So yes, we are all double lights. Whatever we think physical things we achieve and it's ours, is it ours? Or it is given by the divine and we are sharing it with each other. Thank you, Carmen sister. Beautiful sharing. About Rihanna, you want to share?
Yes, I found this in one of the godly versions, and it holds good for enthusiasm as well and self-confidence. If you have just 50% of self-confidence and enthusiasm, but you know take initiative and help others gain their 100%, then yours as well increases to that level of 100%. So it is all about sharing with others as well, and if you give others, and if you're kind enough to help others attain their highest potential, then you will get the benefit as well.
That's very nice. That's a new way, I think we have to look at that. When we share, cooperate or help somebody, our confidence increases. And Carmen, as she said, self-love starts with self.
Autoconfianza, también es interesante cumplir los compromisos.
Hold on, I think Turkish.
Los compromisos que hemos adquirido día a día.
Hold on, who is translating?
Con los demás.
Sorry, these are all technical things when we do in Zoom, on Zoom. Hold on, sister.
Baba, con la presencia amorosa de Baba y con determinación.
Hilal, sister, can you hear me?
De este modo se irá aumentando.
Hello, sister Hilal.
En nuestra capacidad y en nuestro cumplimiento.
No, I don't think it was Sister Hilal. It was Sister.
I got it.
Yeah, even I felt So it's Sister Lucia. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So we'll look at when we get it on the chat box for the foreign language sharing. So let me read one or two points and then we can wrap up. So Sheila says, trust in oneself, yoga, and helping others. Vidhi says, go beyond your limited beliefs and appreciate your every small task. Neeru says, appreciate yourself quite often. Think positive about yourself, use positive affirmations. So that is self-love. Self-love is the foundation for self-confidence. Gita says, intrinsic motivation and self-regard are attributes to confidence. Brother Manuel has translated. Angela said, important to understand the situations we are experiencing. Brijpal Bhai says, patience, silence, connection with God, raise your consciousness, develop third eye, and attain confidence. Yeah, so Hilal sister, the Turkish translator, says, I don't like comparing myself with no one, but everyone's conditions and situations are different, because everyone's conditions and situations are different. So Sister Angela also said in Spanish, we need to empower our soul. Yeah. So beautiful sharings. Maybe if Deepak Bhai, you have captured them, let's see it on the screen. Yeah, visualize the future scenario of success, determination, patience, doing one thing at a time, adopting the changes, upscaling yourself, the skills time to time. Appreciate yourself, trust in oneself, yoga, connecting with the higher power, the divine power. See everything that happens behind it has something to teach me. Do you have more slide? Yeah, so again, important to understand the situations we are experiencing. We get it again, love and acceptance for the self, and being double light or connecting with the divine, intrinsic motivation, self-regard, silence, connection with God, raising your consciousness, developing third eye, and attain confidence, sharing with others, helping others, and avoid comparing yourself. Appreciate every small task. They were really beautiful sharings. Also on the chat, I see Ismail says, be an instrument. So that's what, nothing is mine. We are double lights. Whatever we have is that higher consciousness or connection with the divine. So we have to just share as an instrument. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, Deepak Bhai. I think now let's move on to the summary of what Sister Denise shared with us. That was really powerful. So I hand it over to Brother Manoj. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sister. And thank you all for your wonderful sharings. What I noticed today is quite a few participants are interested in this value of confidence, because I think this is the session where we've exceeded more than 120. A workshop is usually around 60 to 80 to max 100 people, which we have got on our workshops. I think many people are interested in this value. And yes, we have an amazing speaker who will be joining us in the next 15 minutes. So we had another amazing speaker. All of you have listened to her, I'm sure, carefully. Her deep sharings. Sister Denise is famous because whatever she speaks is really a lot of experience, and also a lot from her deep insight which she has for particular value. And again, it reminds me that she has contributed intensively to the values, education, and spirituality textbooks which she has written all by herself, and which a lot of courses happen. The PG diploma, postgraduate diploma in India, it happens in value education and spirituality in conjunction with quite a few universities. So let's see what Sister Denise had to say. So the first thing, how will I know? Am I confident or am I arrogant? So each to his own, you can just check. So confidence, she said, is the willingness to take a risk. So it's a risk-taking behavior. Okay, I'm ready to do it. I have willpower, I have the courage, I may or may not succeed. That's confidence. But arrogance, she said, is not justifiable. And arrogance is something ego, which again, there always we say there's a thin line between self-esteem and ego. And same thing I had asked her in the question, that is there a thin line between where do I know that I am confident or I am crossing the line and becoming overconfident. So if it is ego, it will be overconfident, whereby a person feels he is the best. If he can't do, no one else can do. So that is crossing that line. So that is arrogance. And again, she also mentioned another word here about suppression, that people who have doubts in their intellects, all of you shared actually about intellects which are having faith. So if you have full faith in yourself, you're not suppressed. But if you are having doubt whether you will be able to do or not do, again, to do or not do, it reminds me of Hamlet. Shakespeare had written this Hamlet, who was the person who always was indecisive about things, whether to do or not do. So doubt always leads to inconfidence, I must say, and that's what she also mentioned. And she very beautifully touched that it reminds me, and I would like to correlate with many powers, which she also said, that she said out of the 8 powers, she covered in detail 4 powers. I'll be coming to that soon. But I'm sure all of you, when we think about confidence and faithfulness, it's all about intellect. And the 2 most important powers which remind us when it comes in relation to intellect is the power to discern or decide, which we already did last weekend rather, and we are having it soon. The next week is power to decide or power to judge. So an intellect which is clear, which is free from vices, will be able to make a good decision and will be confident in his or her own decision. Then Sister Denise mentioned that apart from having self-confidence, you need to have confidence in the place where you are staying, which means the government, the religious organization where you belong to, or maybe faith in the God. And it reminds me here, I don't know how much time I'll get, I'll just cover it here now. The difference between faith, trust, and confidence. So what she mentioned is that when I say trust, trust is something, I trust my instincts. I trust my intuition. So it is something on a very subtle level, intangible level, what we say. So yes, I trust myself that I will be and able to succeed because something which is there, a gut feeling, and intuition is coming from inside, that is trust. Whereas confidence is, yes, I can do it and I'm doing it, that is confidence. And faith, she said, is something about long term. When over a period of time, you keep doing things, you achieve success, you develop confidence in yourself, then you start developing faith. And if I can just tell you here, we have covered faith in the past, I think, as a workshop, if I'm not mistaken. There are so many values I keep forgetting now. But in our Brahma Kumari teachings, here we are taught in the spiritual classes to have faith in 4 different things. The first is faith in self, which, as I said, starts with confidence, and you build it up over a long period of time and it becomes faith. Second is having faith in the divine, that is in supreme energy, God, whatever you want to say. Third is having faith in the divine family, or I must say having faith in your near and dear ones. If you are belonging to a spiritual organization, having faith in those people who are close to you. Because if you have faith in God, faith in self, but if you don't have faith in the other people around, it can be a bit challenging to live a life in harmony with them. And most important, I think, the faith in drama. What we say, when I say drama here, I mean to say whatever is happening in my life, Sister Denise covered it in the few slides which I'll be showing. Whatever is happening is really a big karmic rebound. So we really need to have full faith that come what may, whatever is happening in my life, it is a repercussion from the past. So I need to have full faith that this divine drama of life which is happening is absolutely beneficial, benevolent for me. Nothing else could have happened as it is happening now. So we have to have full faith in that. Moving on, she said about freedom, karma, and honesty. She really likes to play around with Hindi words because I must tell you, she speaks excellent Hindi as well. So she covered these words, Jivan Bandh and Jivan Mukti. Jivan means life in Hindi, and Mukti means to have freedom or liberation. So she tried to correlate confidence with freedom. And again, here she said further about the 8 powers. The 2 are important powers: the power to decide, discriminate, and second is judgment. So if I have a clean mind and a clear intellect, we covered cleanliness in detail. And also we know that the intellect should be clear. In Hindi, we say spasht. I can like see from my third eye very clearly. So if these 2 powers are up to the mark, then I can really feel confident. And then whatever decision I take, I'm sure I'll be succeeding in that. And that is called total freedom. So just visualize a life where you have full freedom. And whatever decisions you take from your clean and clear intellect, you are just destined to win. That's what she mentioned here. And finally, we just have to accept that if something is happening otherwise, we just have to accept it as drama. And I like this that she said, Jivan Bandh means a person who is feeling a lot of bondage. What is the reason? It is you are stuck in a particular situation whereby you feel people are putting restraint on you, restricting you, repressing you, oppressing you, suppressing you, all sorts of English jargons, I must say, whereby you feel that you are not able to do something because of them. So this is not a right thought, because this will never allow me to be free, and it will never allow me to develop confidence. So we should realize that let's put all our effort in, and then let's leave to destiny the result. Whatever is there, I just accept it because that's coming from the past karma as well. Which doesn't mean I don't need to work on my success. I need to work, but then I have to accept whatever result is coming. She also mentioned about honesty. A person has to have a high level of honesty to achieve success in life and confidence as well. She said confidence is integrity. And it's a beautiful word. I like it, that confidence is the structural integrity of a soul. I mean, when we say in Sanskrit, Sat Chit Anand, which means the soul is the Chit, and it is Sat, it's true, it's integral, it's truth, eternal truth, that I am the soul. And when I am able to fix my consciousness in this fact of soul consciousness, which is I am structurally integral energy, then I can always remain in Anand, which is in bliss. And that's what she said, a person who is like that can definitely find confidence all the time. And then being successful or not being successful doesn't really bother, because you have full faith in yourself. Come what may, whatever actions I do will be beneficial. She covered a few other powers. The 2 other powers which she mentioned was accommodation and tolerance. So I think these are very important, that particularly in an organization where we are working, we have a lot of people together. We should be able to accommodate their sanskars, accommodate their weaknesses, what they have. So I think we need to develop the quality of mothering, quality of nurturing, because as an organizational leader, I need to make sure I'm able to deal with all these different weaknesses and sanskars of people. And very important, it reminds me of the discussion which we had today about filters. Like, we know we can do best, but people try to discourage us by saying otherwise. So we need to have the power of tolerance. Like, listen to them, it's okay, but don't get upset by what they are saying, and don't feel discouraged by what they are saying. Sister Denise said that you need to pass a few tests. So my dear audience here, I would like to pose these 4 questions with Sister Denise. It's not there here in the slides. I don't like to really read the entire slide. We'll be sending it. You all can read it at leisure. But she said, ask yourself these 4 questions. I'll just tell you, and as you are listening, please reflect on it. First one, do you love yourself? Second, do you trust yourself fully? And this trust is, again, trusting your intuition, trusting your inner thing, that it's coming from inside. Yes, I will be able to do it. Third, would you prefer to be someone else? If not, what is your role right now in life? What else would you be? Do you want to be someone else? Ask yourself. And I think the fourth one is, are you jealous about something or about someone? So she said, ask these 4 questions and then pass these tests. That's what she mentioned. And let me just go quickly to a few questions which were asked about a thin line, as I mentioned, between self-esteem and ego. So the question was, please clarify what is the thin line between self-confidence and overconfidence. So she said an overconfident person is narcissistic. I'm sure you know narcissistic is a person who is like just full of himself, but that is not the real self. So it's, again, overconfidence is ego, it's arrogance, that if I can't do, no one else can do, and I'm the best. Fine, you are the best, that is confidence, but there are other people also who can be equally good. Next was, it was a quote that, it's just blocking my this here, just a moment. That confidence isn't walking into a room with your nose in the air and thinking that you are better than everyone else, but it's walking into a room and not having to compare myself in the first place. So again, comparison is a very important killer of confidence, because as far as I'm alone, I feel, wow, I'm beautiful and confident. But the moment I go in this comparison mode, I start sowing the seeds of self-doubt. And when there is doubt, even a trace of doubt can really, as we know in our spiritual classes here, Vinashayanti. Vinashayanti means it's really a destroyer of your self-confidence. So never have doubt. That's what she mentioned. And comparing yourself with others is like giving away your power, because we don't know what that person's karmic accounts are, what that person's destiny is, what that person's background is, what are his perceptions in life, what are his weaknesses, and what are his sort of strengths. So there are many things which determine success. So let me just work or look at my journey and not compare with anyone else. So I think I will just stop sharing the screen here. And I'm sure we have Sister Gopi with us. Yeah, hello, Sister, she's around.
I kind of don't see her name, so let's see.
She could be, because it's exactly 8:30 here now. Dr. Mehta is joined. Okay, should I just quickly give her a call if she's not around?
Yeah, please give her a call. Or else if she's with other, she's here. She's here.
Can you just spotlight her?
Hello.
Yes, hello. We can't see you.
Om Shanti. Yes, one moment.
Okay.
They're just working on the camera.
Yes, but you have to hang on. I have to give an introduction about you in the form of a poem.
Oh, goodness me. Another one.
Right. So in the
But
meantime,
we need to see Sister Gopi's
yeah,
video.
so let her first come online. That's fine. Let her on.
Okay.
Yes, so we can see the beautiful Pandav Bhavan and the Shanti Stham behind, the peace tower, Tower of Peace. And all of you know Sister Gopi very well. I felt that she'll be in the UK, but she's joining very much from India. So it's the same time zone as India. I won't be telling about her biodata because you all know her very well. And she's like an amazing person to speak on anything. So let me just, again, a few lines on her, that listening to her deep and insightful sharing, the soul finds its true nature, which is indeed very caring, so that we can then face life with a daring, putting all the effort without any sparing, like a mother who leaves no stone unturned in her rearing the child. Okay, and a few lines on today's value of confidence. So from today's talk, let's learn the art of how to confide so that this world becomes a better place to reside. And then we can sit on the seat of self-respect and preside so that all our actions become fruitful, the power to decide. We are covering that later after one or 2 weeks. Then there remains nothing from each other in relations to hide, because the Almighty is always guiding me, being on my side. And which then let Maya go away and not take me in its stride. So thank you so much immensely, Sister Gopi, for joining once again. And she's really got a busy schedule from now onwards for many months. So we are really indeed fortunate to have you as always. It's been a long time that you were not able to share with us, but all thanks to the divine being, and thanks once again for being for us. Thank you. Over to you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Manoj Bhai, for that always very sweet introduction. At first, when I heard of this topic, confidence, I thought, well, what is there to talk about? You know, in its simplest terms, confidence is just repeated action. Anything that's repeated and you attain mastery over it, you become confident in. And yet, when I began probing the subject at a deeper level, I realized its connection with faith and trust, because I identified 3 levels of confidence. You'll have to bear with me. There's a night class announcement going on, but I hope you can still hear me. The first level of confidence I was reflecting on was the level of confidence at a skills level. I mean, we don't consciously think about the skills we have sometimes. We can walk. Walking is a skill. You can talk, give a public lecture. You can move your body in different ways. You know, hatha yoga is a skill. Gymnastics is a skill. Playing a sport. And some of these skills require us to train our bodies in particular ways, to master certain movements. Then there are skills that are related, that are not so obvious, i.e., you don't have an obvious achievement of a physical nature, but you can get success in a task because you know the method for it. So project management, for example, is a second level skill. It's an intelligent skill. And when you learn how to project manage, you can bring order to something. You can eventually see a task to success. And of course, when you get to use that skill in different situations, you get better at using it. Time management is a skill. And I think as a human race, we've started to equip ourselves with different skills. And I kind of sit back and sometimes look at this and think, wow, you mean we've lost the ability to think? We're so far gone that we need to go to a thought management workshop? Or we've lost the ability to use our time in a worthwhile way, that we need time management training? I mean, there's an explosion of soft skills on the market. And of course, all these have methodologies that you can adopt. And yet when I drop down below the hard skills and the soft skills to the level of our deep spiritual skill, am I confident in that? So I may be confident in managing my time. I may be confident in project managing something. I may be confident in directing something. I may be confident in my running skills, my swimming skills, my cooking skills, depending on what I've given time and attention to master, because I have a passion for it. But when we get down to the spiritual level, the question is, am I confident in being able to make someone content? Am I confident in being able to become detached when I want, where I want, as I want? Am I confident in my relationship with the divine? Am I confident in my humility? And so confidence takes a very different form, because it has more to do with the ease at which I'm able to draw on my inner resources, my virtues and powers in any given situation. And nobody teaches us that until we get a spiritual education. And so, how quickly can I let go of something? How quickly can I adjust to something? Am I confident in being able to remain patient in all situations? So confidence is at that level, is the mastery of virtue. Every single virtue. You know, the reality about our lives, and we create many different systems to live our lives, but at some point systems break. I think, I don't know who, there was this wonderful quote about the intuitive mind is a gift and the rational mind is the servant. And we live in a society where the gift is ignored and the servant has been given priority. So we've used our rationality, analysis, our logic to create a structure in our lives. Where everything goes according to this method, I'm okay. And then when something happens to challenge that structure, we're left inside feeling very uncertain of our ability to keep going. And this is where I think spiritual self-confidence is an aspect of deeply, if you like, deeply recognizing that inner capacity, my resources inside, and allowing them space to emerge. Because when, and I'm very aware of this, when I'm practicing a hard skill or a soft skill, so this could be learning anything at a physical level, at an intellectual level, I will activate the rational, logical mind. Break down the steps. What are the steps? Learn them one by one. It's like learning how to ride a bike. And there'll be a confidence at a rational level because I know how to do this. But when, you don't have a bike anymore and you have to walk somewhere, your own body has to support you. But then sometimes to get to the destination, it's not just physical strength, it's spiritual strength that's needed. So do I have the capacity in me to keep going no matter what? Or do I get tired? Do I want to give up? Do I feel sometimes that I don't have what it takes to see myself through? And I realized that when we enter spiritual self-confidence, the way in which we work internally, it has to be very, very different. Very different. It cannot be analysis. For everything, all your resources are inside the soul. Now, for me, to allow those resources to come out, I first have to just connect with myself. It's like switching the light on, getting the current going, you know, reconnecting with the flow and the ebb of who I am as a soul. And feeling myself very, very deeply. Can I become peaceful now, at will, when I want? And if the answer to that is yes, maybe, but it'll take some time, then we've got a lot more work to do. Because the depth of my self-respect has to be rooted in my ability to be confident in being virtuous, in being powerful, spiritually powerful. And when you've mastered that, let me tell you, you can handle anything. Even if you don't know how to do something, it'll be so easy to apply a rational mind and figure it out. Because 70% of the foundation is the spiritual one. It's the detachment, it's the patience, it's the tolerance, it's the humility. If you are well exercised in all of these areas, you are walking into any situation with good armor. And then, you know, the rational mind is the faithful servant. You'll figure it out. It won't take long. It'll just work it out. It'll become obvious what to do. You will draw people around you that know what to do. You know, I find myself here in India working on environment, health, and hygiene. I mean, I would have never thought in a million years I would be involved in this. This is a huge campus. I mean, there's 3 campuses. There's huge numbers of people coming. The statistics are overwhelming sometimes when you think of what needs to happen. I have no knowledge of waste treatment plants, water treatment plants, plumbing. But I sat down and asked myself, well, what am I confident in? I'm not confident in any technicalities. I have no idea about it. But what am I confident in? I'm confident in the clarity of my intellect. I'm confident in my relationship with Baba, with God, with the divine. I know that when my intellect is clean and clear, I know the difference between my own voice and when I'm touched by the divine, getting guidance. I'm confident in my ability to liaise with those who are more knowledgeable than me and to have the humility to ask for advice. I'm confident in that. There's nothing for me to lose. And I thought, well, it's these things that I'm bringing. And it's these things that are helping something move forward. And then I asked myself the question, well, what do I need to learn? And what I realized that this whole process is making me confident in is the art of detachment. The ability to go into the depth of detail one moment and then remove myself from the web of detail and let myself be free, feel free inside. That's the confidence I'm developing through this whole process. The confidence in being humble, knowing that in any major project, you're never just dealing with statistics and facts and figures, you're dealing with people's hearts and minds and people's own stories. And handling that gracefully requires humility. Am I confident in my humility to be able to handle any type of personality with whatever they come to me with? And I realized that's what I'm learning. I'm becoming confident, and I'm seeing the whole project as a practice ground for strengthening my confidence in being able to be detached, strengthening my confidence to be able to be humble. So it's such a different mindset to be in. And in that space, as I recognize this is a chance for me to gain confidence and mastery in these qualities, I'm kind of in a place that is beyond right and wrong. Because you cannot be confident if you still sustain a polarized mindset. Real self-confidence has no polarity. I'm not confident because I'm right. I'm confident because I am, and I know who I am. And this is where the difference lies between the rational and the spiritual and the intuitive. Because in cultivating spiritual self-confidence, the first thing is connection. And the second thing, which is really important in everything, is detached observation. I cannot allow the intellect to start rationalizing or analyzing. I have to put it in the seat of a detached observer and watch what is happening. And as I watch what is happening, I start to understand what is happening. And as I understand what is happening, there comes a point when I understand, there is a quality or a virtue in me that says, I can see what is needed now, and I can provide what is needed now. So it's almost like I rest, I sit on the seat of a detached observer, and I have this bank of treasures. But at any given moment in time, unless I've done the work of observation, I can't understand what is truly needed. I will keep projecting my sense of what's right, how something should be, perhaps an internal sense of injustice. So I can never truly be myself in any situation. I project a belief. I project a concept. I project a theory. I project a should be. And the reality
It's okay, we get her back soon. I think she's froze for a minute, right?
So we don't want to lose her now. I'm sure she'll be back. So internet.
Any way to let her know, because maybe she does not know.
Yeah, she
Okay, I'll
will
just call her.
know,
Yeah.
but yeah, Manoj brother can. We can take our time to reflect on what we heard. Very powerful points that it's so fun.
In the meantime, you can do announcements of the people who want to be a part of our mailing list, Anu sister.
Yes, that's right. So whoever are here, we have a WhatsApp group as well as email group. And in the emails, you receive the invitation of all the programs. Our Values for Life series programs happens every week. There's a workshop, there's a talk by the seniors. As you all know and you're seeing today, it's very, very important how we, gain. I think we give time to the reflection of the values we hold within from really the spiritual leaders or who practice spirituality. So it happens every week, one session. So we send the invitations in the emails and WhatsApp. And most importantly, the workshop review material of today's session, we send it in the email. So if you want to be a part of this group so that you can receive our invitations and other materials, please share your contacts, phone numbers and email IDs with either Vidhi or myself or in the everyone in the chat, please.
Maybe just put some easy music while we're waiting.
Sure.
So I think in the meantime, she's supposed to conduct a 4 a.m. meditation tomorrow, so she wanted to go early as it is. So in the meantime, I'll just save this time and do announcements so that when we get her back, we can do maximum utility of hers. And yeah, so please bear with us, some technical glitches. I'll just share the screen and do the quick announcements for the future.
Yeah.
Upcoming events which we have. Yes, so we've already started revising the spiritual wisdom on bliss. We are doing it 21 days, 3 weeks on bliss. 1 week is almost over. And this is in preparation for the upcoming episode with Asha Didi on bliss, Saturday, 23rd July. And we have the fourth power, which was pending since a long time. And it was finally decided that we'll be able to do this July itself, power to decide or judge, by our very dear brother Enrique Simo, who's the national coordinator of BKs in Spain. It will be on the Sunday, 24th July. And as always, the workshop after the talk would be on bliss. And again, we have one of our Vihasa faculty, I must say. She's one of the lead authors for one of our projects, which is Vihasa, the book which we use. We call it the Vihasa Bible. Sister Maureen Goodman, again, all the way joining from UK. So after the talk, so it's on 30th July. And as I said, we are having this 3-week exercise, which we are doing on bliss. So let's explore, as always, we do with the silence retreat on the last Sunday of the month. And it's on 31st July. It's a long month. So we'll be finishing with the silence retreat on bliss. So with this, I would also like to share this elegant calendar, which we'll be sending you in your emails as well. And these are our websites, vihasaindia@gmail.com or vancouver@ca.brahmakumaris.org. And all of you can find the values workshops playlist link here, which is omshanti.tk/workshops. And I think I'll just stop sharing the screen. And is Gopi sister back? Not yet, because she's not picking up the phone as well. So I think, Sister Claudia, we can do some meditation on confidence with you and wind up early today. Is that okay?
To finish? Is that
Yeah,
what?
so because it's
She may
almost,
join.
She's joined?
And no, she may join. I don't know. I'm still hopeful a little bit to wrap up, but I think we can do
In the meantime, we can do some reflection and meditation on confidence with Sister Claudia. And if she joins, well and good. Otherwise, we can, after 5-10 minutes, wind
I
up
think
early.
she's here, Gopi too.
She's here? Okay. That's
believe.
great.
Is it you, Sister Gopi? You can unmute now.
Yeah, here she is. So close.
I'm not sure if it is Gopi sister. Can you switch on your video? It says Gopi 2.
Yeah, I can also see Gopi too as the co-host. So maybe she's just
there.
getting ready.
She's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here. The internet is not good. I want to find
Can
you so
you
that we
hear
can spotlight.
me?
We can, but it's
Yes,
very bad bandwidth.
this is Pandav Bhavan and the Wi-Fi.
Sister, maybe we can go with
Yeah.
your video off and save some bandwidth and we can listen to you. We can try that.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, it's much better without the video. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you remember what the last thing that I shared was, Manoj Bhai?
Yes, very much. I was taking notes very diligently. So it was, I think you mentioned about two things, connection and detached observation.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, the whole aspect of our life is that we're developing, especially spiritually, the skill of using our intellect in a pure way. In spiritual terms, we often use this word satopradhan, which is the highest frequency of purity. Anything in its original state, authentic state, in its purest natural state. And then there's the word satoguni, something that draws and absorbs goodness from everything. And so when we are developing spiritual self-confidence, we are learning to, first of all, develop this quality of intellect. Because when the intellect is clean and clear, then all our inner resources can naturally work for us. When the intellect is held by a belief, it's kind of twisted and warped in some ideas, or it's in the bondage of some opinions, then none of your virtues can work for you. Your intellectual argument will work for you, but it may create a debate. But your virtues will not work for you to be able to bring about a transformation of attitude, of awareness in that situation. And I feel this is the biggest difference between becoming confident in a worldly sense. Oh, well, I know how to do many things. And actually, in that state where you know how to do, you can be more of a problem than a hindrance than a help. Because sometimes what people need around you is just a bit of respect, a bit of love, a bit of patience, a listening ear. Maybe they need humility. Maybe they need the power of being detached. And to what extent do I have the ability to transfer virtue? That's very important for me. If I think of Daddy Janki, and I think of the blessings that, she's received from God, one of them definitely was that she could give the cooperation of virtue. She knew how to step in and give and be what was needed at any time. There was a time when there was a brother that had come and he wanted to build a retreat center for brothers. And he'd done the rounds and met many seniors and then eventually ended up with Daddy. And he started his same story. He wanted to build a retreat center in his country for brothers. He wanted a message from Bap Dada. He wanted help from the daddies. And I remember translating for Daddy at that point and thinking, gosh, he's got a long list of demands. And in between, somebody came to just pick up the mic from Daddy's ear and tell her, well, he's got a big story. And Daddy just quietened both of us. And she said, can't you see what I'm doing? I'm making the soul content. Now, for me, that is an art I want to learn. I want to become confident in my capacity to listen to the soul so deeply and to be with God so deeply that in my presence I can make another soul content. So I feel, just take a moment wherever you are right now and just look at yourself in your current role. You could be a doctor, a nurse, a businessman, a wife, a mother, whatever. Just make a list of all the skills you have at that level. You could have loads of skills at that level. You can be confident in many, many things at the level of the role. So just take a moment, just reflect on your role and just make a quick list of everything you're confident in at that level. Okay, now just step in and just look at your relational level, your relationships. And just do a little scan there. Just get a sense of, what am I confident in when I'm interacting in these relationships? I might be confident in my ability to speak. I might be confident in my ability to impart an idea. I might be confident in me being able to listen. So just think about your relational level for a moment. And then, what do you need to strengthen confidence in when you're relating to others? What particular area of your expression do you need to become more confident in or attain a bit more mastery over when you're relating to others? And now just let's go down to the spiritual level. Just think about your relationship with God, with Baba, with the divine. And just feel that relationship for a moment. As a result of that relationship, what kind of confidence has emerged in you?
So I think probably we have lost her again. So maybe Sister Claudia can, it's good we have these three reflections which she took us on, the hard skills, the soft skills, and now the spiritual ones. So maybe Sister Claudia, you can carry on with the meditative reflection on confidence. Is that okay? Thanks.
Om Shanti. Let's take a moment and go deep inside ourselves. This is the time that I receive as a gift to understand myself. Because when I understand myself, I can change, or I can strengthen my confidence, actually, when I am confident of myself, I feel joy. There is contentment. And there is nothing else better than have a life of happiness. I do not need to ask for anything. I just need to be. I know who I am. I know who is guiding me. I know how I can do the best for myself and for humanity. I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in my job, my work, in my relationship. So I can detach and observe everyone acting as actors in this drama of life. And if it is needed, I can help. But most of the time, just be and given the strength is what I need to do. I use the power to decide when I am a detached observer. I look for a pure state of mind without questioning or asking for anything. Because I know who I am. Today, I am going to reflect and see where are my strengths? Where do I need to improve and bring happiness to my life and to the life of others who are around me, and spreading those vibrations to the world. Om Shanti.
So thank you so much, Sister Claudia, for this wonderful reflection and for pitching in at the right moment. And apparently we have Sister Gopi who's joining us from the phone. I've just called her, and luckily I think we, so Sister Gopi, if you can, yeah, she'll be sharing with you all something for the next.
Could I know the name? Okay. Can you unmute yourself because I have to make her co-host?
No,
What is
she
it?
is on the phone with me, Anu sister.
Okay,
She's
got it.
on the phone, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
That
so
makes
Gopi,
sense. Can you hear me?
yeah, can you all, can you all hear her? She spoke something.
I think very well. That's a great idea. We'll put the slide on the screen and let's listen to Sister Go.
So it's fine. She can just speak. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you very clearly. Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank Claudia for that small reflection. I heard the tail end of it, and it made me realize how important it is to keep the intellect soft. And when we meditate, there's such a beautiful softness that takes over the intellect. And when we meditate, we put ourselves under the canopy of God's grace. And when the intellect, for me, it's all about the pose of the intellect. Am I facing outwards? Am I facing inwards? Or am I facing upwards? Because whichever direction I'm facing determines the influence of energy on me at that moment. And I feel how important in developing, a hard skills, confidence, learning a skill in art, very easy. But to stay under the canopy of God's grace and to allow my intellect to become so refined and so clean that in any moment it can take on the pose of humility when needed, bow down when needed, remain patient when needed, merge something when needed, remain loving when needed, pick up virtue when needed. And I feel it's the quality of intellect that allows us to develop true spiritual self-confidence. Because sometimes we perceive things through our intellect, but we don't realize which quality of intellect we are perceiving things through. So when you have Sato Pradhan energy, that energy is very clean, it's consistent, it's illuminating, it's light, it picks up good from everything, Sato quality. When the intellect is Rajo, Rajoguni. It's a wandering intellect. It's an intellect that needs to move. Motion is the energy of Rajo. Doubt, bit of fluctuation, question, analysis. And sometimes from that space, we try to attempt to bring resolution, and it's not possible. Until you shift your intellect out of that place into being Satoguni, Satopradhan, only then can a lasting solution emerge. And you can be a co-creator in renewing something, because your intellect and your perception support the transformation. And then, of course, the Tamo intellect. And that intellect is inertia. That's the energy of it. It gets stuck in something. It can't move. Hopelessness, disheartenment, of course, negativity. And so, when whatever I'm involved in, it doesn't matter, because this is a jungle of thorns right now. And we can't blame a thorn for pricking us. That's their job. But what we can do is refine the quality and upgrade the quality of our intellect to such a point that we get really good at recognizing diamonds in the dust. We get really good at staying light in the intellect, being able to put a full stop and move on. We get really good at being consistent, far-sighted. And once we develop that capacity of intellect, then our ability to remain spiritually confident in all situations jumps up. When I think of Daddy didn't even have an education. He only studied up to 3rd standard. And yet here she is at the end of her life, the chief of the Brahma Kumaris, but sees herself as a world mother and has the deep spiritual self-confidence to bring souls close to truth, their elevated truth, and to bring souls close to God. So I'd like to stop there. And these are my closing remarks, is to really put myself in that place of being a detached observer. Allow the intellect to stay in the company of God under the graceful canopy of God's vision. And then to observe and understand from that place. And then a very different quality of response will emerge. And once I get good at that, I will be undefeatable. Om Shanti.
So thank you so much, wonderful Sister Gopi, for your sharings despite the technical glitches. And thank you also, Sister Claudia, for pitching in at the right moment for the reflection of those 3 things which Sister Gopi covered. And I think Sister Gopi also has to conduct a very early morning meditation tomorrow for one of the Asian parts of the world, I think. So I would request Sister Gopi just to be a few more moments, and I would ask Dr. Ashok Mehta to please propose the vote of thanks. Sister Gopi, over to you, Dr. Mehta.
It's been a pleasure to listen to Gopi Ben with all the technical problems. Still, the confidence with which she talked on the confidence was absolutely marvelous. Basically, she took us from how to be Satoguni from all angles, become the most confident in your dealings with the skills that we need to develop. I suppose, to interrupt it, this has been a great experience listening to Gopi Ben as usual. Only thing is we couldn't see it sometime during the talk. I think we had to visualize her way she handled the situation with tremendous confidence. Thank you, Gopi Ben, for giving this beautiful class under very, very difficult circumstances. Om
Ashopai, thank you very much. It's always lovely to hear from you. And I too can visualize you in front of me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So thank you both of you. And that's the power of, I think, intangible, subtle things which both of you are displaying and portraying here. So thank you once again, all of you. And I think Sister Gopi, you have to leave now for morning meditation tomorrow. So we can say
thank you very much, Manoj Bhai.
Thanks a lot once again.
Thank you, Mr. Anu. Thank you to Claudia, and especially thank you to everyone who's online and were practicing the power of patience as I was deftly adjusting to the situation today. So let's take a few moments in quiet reflection and just allow yourself to let go of everything else from your mind. Feel who you are inside. That serene, peaceful, subtle being, the soul. And as you feel yourself inside, just let yourself, all your inner faculties, completely become soft. The mind quietens, the intellect softens. And in this silence, allow yourself to be in God's vision, in Baba's vision. There is something deep inside this soul that even God was attracted to. There is a precious diamond there. Let me rest in this awareness, being held in God's vision, and of my own value as a diamond. I take the seat of a detached observer, resting in the canopy of God's vision and love. And I'm ready to face anything. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Gopi Ben, for all your effort you made it. Thank you very much. We really like it. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to also thank you because it was really a practical experience. I'm sure we all will never forget the confidence and that spiritual awakening that Gopi sister still took us through with all this technical difficulties. So photograph without Gopi sister, I'm not sure, but we can still take one, and maybe we can put Gopi sisters that picture and create it. So you can switch on your videos. Let's make it truly memorable.
Go because she's getting late. As it
Yes.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Manoj
you
Bhai.
so much, Sister Gopi.
Good night.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you. Om Shanti. Yes,
And thank you to all the translators and the whole team behind that makes this program possible every week. Honestly, it's not possible without that. So, yes, is it okay? Manoj brother will take a picture. Everyone? More? We see more videos opening up. So that's great. Thank you, everyone. It was really special today. And that's good you thought of that through phone, Brother Manoj, so that we could hear, because it was really powerful sharing. But at least we got a close.
Sister Gopi was highly confident to do it through that. It was her idea, which is great. Thanks to Baba. Thanks to the Divine. And thanks to all of you all for bearing with us. Life teaches us a lot through all these sessions. Thanks.
Again. Bye now.